Alright, hello. Not here with a K. I have too much energy about this verge that I'm on. I can't just type it right now. I need to make a video because it's about to be 7:23. Today is 7:20, and I just have some major revelations I gotta share. First, I'll start with a little summary. Okay. My friend on X, he's into decoding Stanley Kubrick's life and films and all things related. So I figured since 237 keeps coming up, I would involve Stanley Kubrick in my decoding, because 237 is the room in The Shining, which was his film. And he changed the number, I guess, from the book, Stephen King's book, The Shining. It was 217, but Stanley Kubrick changed it to 237. And ever since then, it's been a very famous number to use in films. Okay, so James Earl Jones, I did a decode about a video, which you can watch on my channel. And I will be getting into his stuff again in a review, because it's very important to what I have to tell you this time. Okay. James Earl Jones did the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King. That's what he's famous for. He did Star Wars. His debut film, the film that made him famous, was Stanley Kubrick's film, Dr. Strangelove. And so from Kubrick's birth, 7/26/1928, to James Earl Jones's birth, 1/17/1931, is 129 weeks and 2 days. Dr. Strangelove was released on 1/29/1964. And 1964 reduces to 2, so that could be 129 too, like the time between Kubrick's birth and James's birth. Stanley Kubrick equals 171 in simple gematria, like James Earl Jones's birthday, January 17th, which can be written as 17/1. Kubrick was alive for 70 years, 7 months, 9 days. 7079 is the 909th prime, and James Earl Jones died on 9/9. James Earl Jones, blah blah blah. Okay, so the reason I started looking into this stuff is because there's this lion theme, and Pope Leo, is Leo, which means lion. He's the 267th Pope. Kubrick was born on 26/7. Okay. 7/23 is Haile Selassie's birthday, or 23/7. He was considered by the Rastafarians to be the Lion of Judah. I did a whole video on him, because his genealogy was supposedly stemming from Solomon. And they literally thought he was Jesus Christ incarnate, the Messiah of Rastafarianism, the conquering Lion of Judah. The number one holiday of Rastafarianism is 4/21. Ground Nation Day, they call it, celebrating when Haile Selassie got off the plane. And 4/21 is obviously Pope Francis's funeral, if you've been following my work. His death at age 88. And the famous phrase of Rastafarianism, one love equals 88. And from The Pope's funeral date, 426, to Haile Selassie's birthday, 723, is 88 days. Also, 426 is 624 backwards, which is the date of the major release of The Lion King in 1994. That was June 24th, which is also the anniversary of organized Freemasonry, the establishment of organized Freemasonry. Okay. And The Lion King was 88 minutes long. Pope Leo was elected 80 years, 8 days from Hitler's death. And on the day Pope Leo was elected, was released a song called Heil Hitler by Kanye West, or otherwise known as Ye. And the chant that they sing on Groundation Day is Abu Ye. ABU space YE. Okay, so Dexter Resurrection, a new Dexter series, came out this month. 2 episodes premiered on 7/11, the 192nd day of the year. Okay? Now, in Dexter, shit is so crazy. There is a big scene where he's at an intersection. Dexter is at an intersection in a conspiracy theorist's Jeep. A dead conspiracy theorist who died. Dexter took his Jeep, which was heavily laden with conspiracy stickers and bumper stickers and all that, and was all camo. And he was in that Jeep, stopped at this intersection in New York City, and that intersection was saturated with the Lion King advertising. It was just everywhere. It was yellow. It was a big word saying The Lion King everywhere, like an obvious subliminal. Okay. And it was released, that show was released on 7/11, the 192nd day of the year. Leo equals 192, and James Earl Jones, who played Mufasa, was born on 1/17, which is 7/11 backwards. All right. And Dexter's best friend in the in the show, he sounds exactly like Rafiki from The Lion King. Like, exactly. And the fact that they have this guy sounding exactly like Rafiki and Lion King advertisements all over these 2 episodes, that means they're evoking the idea of voice acting from The Lion King, right? Subconsciously, you're thinking, what does that remind me of? But what does that remind me of? And then your subconscious knows, and it knows that, oh, that's the voice of Rafiki. So you think about this voice actor from The Lion King, right? And which evokes the idea of James Earl Jones, who died recently and was born on 1/17, while that episode of Dexter came out on 7/11. All right, now the license plate of Dexter's conspiracy theorist's Jeep, in that intersection, it shows the license plate while he's at that intersection. And where is it? Okay. Here we go. His license plate was right here, HQT 4765. HQT equals 45. 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 22. So whenever there's letters next to numbers, I add up the letters, and then I'll add up the numbers, or if there's only one number, I'll always multiply the value of the letters with the, usually with the reduced value of the numbers. And so 45 times 22 equals 990, just like James Earl Jones' death. And that's what the license plate comes to in the intersection where they show all the Lion King advertising in Dexter. And if you add those two numbers, 22 plus 45, that's 67, and Dexter equals 76. And I did a whole video about the 76 kill code. Now, like I said, Dexter's son had room 237, and from James Earl Jones' death on 9/9 last year to Dexter's release 7/11 this year was 7,320 hours. 237 backwards. Okay. Now again, James Earl Jones, he died 3 months, 11 days from Mufasa The Lion King on 12/20. And his last birthday, 117, was 11 months, 3 days from Mufasa The Lion King, 12/20. And he died on 9/9, the day leaving 113 days left in the year. Okay. Which was 30 years after The Lion King, the original Lion King, and the 30th prime number is 113. And 7/23, July 23rd, is the 30th week of the year. Now remember, Operation Rising Lion in Israel, when Israel started attacking Iran on Friday the 13th in June, that date, Friday the 13th of the beginning of Operation Rising Lion, was 1 month, 1 week, 3 days from 7/23. And again, Pope Leo was elected on the day leaving 237 days left in the year, the 128th day, and Leave the World Behind was released 12/8. Okay. And the whole reason I got on this decoding the lion kick was because of the white lion in the scene where the oil tanker with the big words "White Lion" on it crashed onto the beach, initializing the start of the chaos. Okay, but now Leo equals 192, like Leave the World Behind also equals 192. And in Leave the World Behind, the expiration stickers on the family's car is 12/22, okay? And there are 2 different cars in Dexter that have that same exact expiration stickers. 12/22 on 2 different cars in Dexter. And Dexter, again, was released on the 192nd day of the year and had Lion King advertising. Leo equals 192. Leave the World Behind equals 192. And again, Leave the World Behind was released 12/8, like the 128th day Pope Leo was elected. And that was in 2023, which was the 82nd anniversary of the U.S. entry into World War II. And the 82nd prime is 421, just like Pope Francis's death date. And Pope Francis equals 732. And Pope Francis also equals 122. That's simple gematria 122 times 6 equals 732 in English gematria. And Vance, he saw the Pope 13 hours before he died as a statement, a whole psychological warfare statement. And Vance was born on 8/2, the 214th day, 21/4, just like Pope's death date. And White Lion from Leave the World Behind equals 690, just like Lion of Judah. And Pope Leo is 69, and Vatican is 96 years old. And in Leave the World Behind, the girl, what's her name, Ruth, has a tattoo of the number 96. And 96 represents the first layer of the infernal realms, according to Samuel Aun Weor, or Gurdjieff, which is 96 laws of the lunar kingdom, the emotional, parasitical realm. And 192 represents the second layer, which is 96 times 2. 192 is the second layer of the infernal realm, which is the mineral kingdom, which is basically hell. But it's a lot more nuanced than that. You can research that if you want. I suggest you do, because that's what these elite occultists, they abide by that occult theosophy that defines various layers of kingdoms ruled by a certain amount of laws, and we are in the human kingdom, which is ruled by 48 laws, and the goal is to try to not fall into our lower nature lest we get pulled under into lower incarnations like in the 96 and the 192 realms. The goal is to rise up and become better and embody selfless virtues that lightens our soul, builds the light within, so that we can ascend into the higher realms of 24 laws, and then 12 laws, and then 6 laws, and then 3 laws, and then back to the source. It's the process of ascension. But all this programming Hollywood is doing is to try and keep us down, is to try and pull us into our lower nature, which is what the white lion represents. It represents the highest majestic power of the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom is just below us, and we have the animal within us, and they're trying to program us to fall into our animal nature so that they can raise up the power of the animal on earth, which is the power of the beast. And that's exactly what the white lion psychological operation represents, is raising the highest power of the animal kingdom up to the place where the soul should be ruling in the human. But they want the animal to rule the human. That's why there's all this godless programming being done, all this pessimistic, God doesn't exist, simulation theory bullshit. Like, it's all stuff to make you believe that God is not a thing, that the soul does not need attention. But the whole goal of life is to build the light of the soul, not to survive and not to feed your material body. Yes, you got to feed your material body to survive, but people are tricked into thinking that the material realm is all that exists. And they get distracted all throughout life with, worldly responsibilities, and they completely forget about the development of the soul. And the powers that rule Hollywood and the government, they feed off of our loosh that we release, our emotional and spiritual energy that we release, our life force is released. The more decisions we make that feed the flesh and the lower nature. If we're not feeding the soul, then we're feeding the beast. Now again, 723 is the first day of the sun in Leo. The sun enters Leo at 11 something on the East Coast, USA, on 722. And I think, so the first day of the sun in Leo is 7/23. That's when shit's gonna get crazy, I believe. Or at least some sort of developments, that contribute towards the overall incoming chaos, which is set to draw us deeper, ever deeper into our lower nature. So if the chaos does come, or when it comes, just try not to give in to all the programming imposed upon you. Try to give in to your better nature. All right, that's it, I guess. Seek clarity with love.